FrameMaker is used to make intricate large-form documents or structured documents with an emphasis on technical writing. Most structured documents will follow a concise format, allowing for consistency and uniformity in writing, perfect for organized documents. But aside from all of that, FrameMaker is a document processor, an XML formatter that allows you full control of how you want your final output to look like. This video is going to focus on how to create a simple document, like one you could create in Microsoft Word, but with using FrameMaker, you can customize the layout easier, making it a great alternative for simple documentation. Whether you're using the 30-day free trial or paying for a subscription, you should have the FrameMaker application downloaded from Adobe and ready to open. FrameMaker opens with a Recent Items section and a Create a New Document section. You can also access these two options in the top File menu. Notice the many different document types to choose from. A simple document type best aligns with the topic option. Here we can choose Portrait. The interface may look like Word at first, the white page, the options and shortcuts on the top. The major difference though is the column on the right side. You will spend most time editing through this side column, and it's mandatory to learn these options to efficiently use FrameMaker. Let's get some words on this page. You can begin to type a document or just add filler text in order to learn about some of the customization we'll look at. First things first, let's format so that you aren't left with a boring layout. Select Format at the top, navigate to Page Layout, and click on Column Layout. You can add columns to your page setup through Column Layout. You can have text in one column, images in the other, or you can incorporate the columns to be used for special titles and side notes. Room for side heads will create a side section of the page rather than creating entire columns to break the main text into two. At the top and left sides of the page, you can see measurements. Refer to these numbers for the sizes used in the gap and width options. Clicking on Update Entire Flow will change the layout. This can't be undone. Instead, you'll need to go back into the section and enter the original information. If you're only adding a side head, the page now has a permanent side section that can be used for additional information or for special notes or tips, as you'll see later on. With your page layout decided and some text entered, let's now take a look at the right side column with the many tabs here. Although these tabs are useful, you will only need to focus on the first two tabs for a simple document. Character Designer is used to edit specifically selected text. Family is the typeface, size, color, background color, weight, angle, variation are all familiar options that can be edited. You can save an entry by first entering a styled title, then choosing all your options. You can then quickly highlight text and choose the style from this Character Designer dropbox. Paragraph Designer is made more specifically for larger sections of a document by simply placing the cursor in any part of the paragraph and selecting a style. No highlighting is necessary. These options are similar to Character Designer, but there are more pages here to edit. For basic documents, you will only have to use the top 4 options. Basic has indentation and spacing options. Font is identical to the options in Character Designer. Pagination is used for the side head and column options. Numbering is mainly for lists, like bulleted or numbered lists. We'll focus on some of these options in a bit. Next, let's learn about different sections of a document and how to design them. Titles, body, lists, and special notes. Titles, you can create different paragraph designer styles dedicated to titles or subtitles, chapters of a document. This will be the largest part of your text, and these subs will be slightly smaller, but still bigger than the body text. You can click on Apply to get a preview of what the changes will look like before creating a new style. Remember that these titles and section titles need to stand out from the rest of the document, and that sans serif typefaces are more appropriate for them, such as Helvetica. Size 24 point is a good chapter title size. You can also bold these and color them for more style. Body text should be uniform across the entire document. Be sure to create one type of style and use it for all the different sections. The body typeface will look better with the serif option, such as Georgia. Go into the Basic tab if you want to add automatic indents to your paragraphs. Most technical documents will probably not have indentations, though. Lists. Most technical documents will include a list, whether they are bulleted or numbered. Bullets used specifically for lists that don't need to be set in a specific order. Remember that consistency is important. If you are capitalizing each word in a list, make sure each entry follows that format. To create lists, in Paragraph Designer, create a name for your list. Click on the numbering option. Click on Auto Number Paragraphs. Building blocks will list many options for creating lists. These are used to create uniformity across the document so that all lists will have a similar layout. For numbers, use the N in brackets. For bullets, use the bullets. The Format section is where you will create the list using the building blocks and other text and spaces. For example, a numbered list. I want a numbered list that will have a period and space. So I will choose N+, meaning that it will automatically update the list numbers with each entry. Adding spaces is mandatory in the Format section. Click on Update Style to save the customized list. All sorts of notes or warnings are used throughout technical documents. You will want these to stand out from the rest of your text. You can create a specific title just for this. Using italics and a different color is a good way to make it stand out. Another way is to utilize the columns or the side head. Create another Paragraph Designer style titled Note or Tip or Warning. We can set this tip across the side head to make it stand out more. Highlight the text, go to Pagination in Paragraph Designer, and then select Format across all columns and side heads and click on Apply. Maybe you want some information placed directly under an image or in the side head. Easiest way to do so is to use a text frame. We can start utilizing this left side toolbar that can be moved around. Click on the text frame option. You can now choose any section of the page, click and drag and move to make it the size you desire. You can make a long skinny box under an image and enter a description, or you can create text in a side column. Double click in the box and type your text. Just like a text frame, a graphic frame is used to shape and place a graphic or image exactly where you want it. This is a much easier way to incorporate images rather than just dragging them into the document and making a mess. Get creative with graphic frames, the position, size, layout. You can do a lot with this option. You can drag this box around by clicking and dragging on a side. Click and drag on these squares to increase or decrease size. You can then add an image directly into this graphic frame where you can adjust the size within the frame. A great simple way to add a bit of color and design to your layout is by using shapes. Use the line option from this toolbar. You can add lines under chapter titles, incorporate them on the front page of a document. Same with the rectangle option. Use the Set Fill Pattern option to add opacity levels and select a color. You can add something like this for each chapter, or even highlight special sections with the rectangle. Don't overdo the colors and shapes within a technical document though. Having 2 different colors throughout a document is fine, possibly even 3, but remember to keep it consistent throughout. Hopefully you found this video helpful and learned a few of the basics for FrameMaker. Of course, this is just scratching the surface, but you can create a basic, simple document that is still impressive and much more intuitive than using Microsoft Word.